All right, and welcome back to Scareticulous. What's up, everyone? So, we have some news here that apparently a Stay Tuned reboot comedy series is in development at Hulu. Yes, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if this sounds like what is Stay Tuned? Stay Tuned is this obscure little 1992 movie with John Ritter in it, and it has I think Eugene Levy. It also has what's the guy from Beetlejuice, the father? I forgot his name. He's basically a convicted p word. Anyway, so that movie, which wasn't terribly successful at all, like nobody saw that movie. That was a huge bomb. Just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here, something that was an absolute abject failure. However, after it failed in theaters, what they did was they just kind of slapped it on like TV, on like cable, channels back in like the 90s. It's probably still being seen, in various places. It's on DVD. It's getting around, but like it's not. I would say it's more of a cult classic kind of thing right now. Um, Maybe not so much cult classic, but it's kind of on the verge of that. Anyway, so they're apparently developing a TV series on that property that failed. Okay, not something that was successful, something that failed. Which I think people are always talking about like how they should reboot things that did not go terribly well, did not succeed, or were not good. However, I don't think this movie wasn't good. It wasn't amazing, but it was entertaining. It had great scenes. It was great. It had great parodies in it, which I think it was kind of way before its time. I think parody culture and satire kind of really caught on in like the late 90s, 2000s era. That's when we kind of like started to look back at our culture and started to kind of parody stuff. Whereas back then, I don't think it was as appreciated as it is now. Nowadays, we parody everything, and it's like, I mean, I know Weird Al was popular back then, but he was much more marketable. We'll just put it that way. This was like a property that tried to get off the ground, failed, and then it was pretty much just a product of its time. But now they're planning this series, and it's going to have Josh Gad and Andrew Rannell, and they're going to star in this comedy series at Hulu. So let's read this, and I'll tell you why this is such a big deal in a moment. Okay, so Hulu is developing, stay tuned, a comedy series headlined and executive produced by Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells, loosely based on the 1992 cult classic film of the same name, starring John Ritter and Pam Dauber. Stay Tuned was created by Akiva Goldsman, Jordan Kahan, and Greg Lissands, with Kahan set as showrunner. These names are like tongue twisters. In the TV series take, Rannells and Gad will find themselves trapped on the wrong side of the screen and forced to navigate their way through TV's most binge-worthy obsessions. So if you guys don't know like what the plot of the original movie was, basically there was this this husband and wife. They had two kids, and they weren't getting along. They had like marital issues because he was obsessed with TV. Like TV was a huge part of like everyday life, 20, 30 years ago. It was just become part of the norm. But then we showed like the darker side of like the obsession like people will have with TV. And even more like in the past 20 years, I'd say like reality shows and stuff like that. People get hooked on like streaming now. Like, there's a lot of different aspects of that kind of culture that still linger today. Whereas back then, like it was, kind of a big deal. Like, okay, people get obsessed over TV and kind of can ruin a relationship. So what happened was there's this mysterious company that basically sells him a brand new TV set. Okay, John Ritter's character gets sold um, this huge TV with like a remote. And when he plays the TV, it's got like weird shows on it that he's never heard of. Kind of like when people bought like satellite TV, they had like strange shows or like like XFM. It's like stuff you on it you've never heard before. Kind of like that. So and then there's huge dish, this huge like TV dish that you would put outside in the yard. Well, when they went outside in the yard, the TV dish basically sucked up John Ritter and the woman who played his wife. I think her name was Pam Dauber, And when they went inside the dish, they basically were trapped inside all these shows, right? And you could only like go like from show to show in order to get out by like finding a passage. There was usually like a passage of like white noise that they were allowed to like walk through, kind of like a doorway almost, and that's how they can get to like the next show to try to get out of the the TV set basically. So they were trapped inside TV, like literally. And this mysterious company was apparently controlled by the devil. Yes, the devil, Satan himself. And so he had all these like executives and yeah, and anyone ever seen like the Cabin in the Woods movie? It's kind of like that before that was a movie. Okay, like when I saw Cabin in the Woods, I was like, I've seen this before. Stay Tuned already did this concept, but like way better. Um, and they didn't, but Cabin in the Woods was like, I don't know. They tried to act like it was some huge, like, oh my God, it's a clever thing. I was like, this is not that clever. I've seen this before in Stay Tuned with John Ritter. So yeah, and so basically they have like a 24-hour period before they will get basically taken to hell if they don't get out of the TV, all these shows and stuff. And so that was the concept of the movie. I'm curious to like how the show is going to play out, like kind of, are they going to do like every season they get trapped in just a bunch of shows? Are they going to, is there going to be like a certain time limit that goes for like a week or something? Like, is it going to be like more extended? Like, how exactly is this new content? And who's going to be like the executives working at the company, that evil, devil company? Is Josh Gad going to be working at the company, or is he going to be trapped inside the TV series? Here's another thing to consider, that if you're not already sold on this concept and why this is such an amazing, awesome announcement, because this has the potential of being one of the best TV shows, one of the most popular TV shows, for the very concept of the fact that the original movie had parodies in it of other shows. Okay. So, like Northern Exposure was a huge deal. It had a parody of that. It was like, Southern Exposure or something. I don't know. They had a parody of Wayne's World in there. And I don't know if they like reached out to all these companies and they got the rights, or, they asked it. I don't, because I know parody is allowed to be, a thing, like, but it's just a question, like they can still take you to court. You know what I mean? Even if you have the right to do parodies, they can still like litigate against you and try to sue you over like your usage of like any kind of content or inspiration or anything like that. So I'm just curious, like, did they actually reach out to get these rights? Now, here's the great thing about Hulu is it's owned by Disney. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Disney, but it owns a lot of companies and a lot of different properties, which means that this show has the potential of opening the door to parodies of things that, it could be underneath the Disney umbrella. Okay, let's think about this. What does Disney own here? Okay, let's ask. Let's see, what properties does Disney own, movie and TV wise? Let's ask Google, the great compendium of knowledge here. Let's see here. So, okay, so we have Walt Disney Pictures produces live action animated films. All right, right? Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm. All right, so with Star Wars parodies, we could have Indiana Jones, we could have Toy Story parodies. And here's the thing. When this movie dropped, like this showed how they could literally parody any show, right? They even had like a cartoon that they made for this movie, which, I mean, now that I look back on this, it just kind of floors me, like that they were able to do all this with this movie that ended up bombing. Like, this did not succeed. Okay, let's watch a little bit.
Reach the end.
Oh my God, we're cartoons.
I am not a mouse. I'm Helen Nabel. I have two beautiful children.
Mom? Our parents are trapped in television.
Now they can't go home. They can only switch channels.
Where did he go?
Hey, lady, watch out!
and every series
See,
is a
driving Miss
nightmare.
Daisy.
That's entertainment.
Yeah, that was it.
Because Satan is the sponsor.
Okay, everybody, head spins. Very good, very nice.
Well, time to rock and roll.
See, and they could do all these like great twists on like shows and movies and stuff. There's just so much they have to work with. I mean, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, American Horror Story. They have every Disney show imaginable, ABC shows, anything they own. Yet they bought out Fox, which has tons of comic properties. A&E networks, ESPN, Freeform, National Geographic, tons of stuff. Right? Any Hulu shows they have, Muppets. They could have a Muppets parody, Simpsons, Family Guy. Just imagine all the parodies of shows they could do. Because I was surprised they got away with as much as they did in this original movie. You see that here's to have the Wayne's World parody. Wayne's Underworld.
That'll save her.
See, and so they had so many of these different properties. Just imagine what they could do with all of the rights that Disney owns under like the Hulu brand. So many different things they could end up parodying. That's why this has the potential of being a truly huge show. I know nobody gives a crap about this right now, but I'm saying it right now, right here and now. This has the potential to be a huge show, like on a deeply cultural level. Okay, so I'm just waiting for this to actually come to fruition. Let's see here. Morgan Creek produced the movie, directed by Peter Hyams, which stars Ritter and Dauber as a suburban couple who are unwittingly transported into their television by satanic emissary. We know about that. Tony-nominated actors Gad and Rennells have been close friends since starring together on Broadway in 2011 hit musical The Book of Mormon. They reunited for 2023 musical Gutenberg the Musical. They are in History of the World Part 2, another kind of almost parody kind of movie from Mel Brooks. Let's see here. For over a decade, Andrew and I have been the Laverne and Shirley of our generation, according to our mothers. Gad said it only makes sense to now do a TV series where we can literally do an episode as Laverne and Shirley, assuming the rights to those characters aren't prohibitively expensive. Disney probably owns those. Well, let's be real about it, right? They probably already own those rights. That is the power of this show, the untapped power that I see here, the potential of this show to really take off. I'm hyped. I'm excited because that first movie did not have a chance in hell of really gaining any traction. Like it just bombed. But now in 2025, it really does have the power, I think, to reach a much wider audience and be actually popular. And I think Josh Gad's pretty funny. I don't really know. Like I've seen that other guy. This guy on the right, I've seen him before. I'm not that familiar with him, but I'm sure he's fine. So anyway, I'm not going to read through this whole article, but are you guys excited for this? Like I am. Has anyone ever seen the movie Stay Tuned? The 1992 John Ritter original, with also the convicted child P, also from the guy from Beetlejuice, in it. Let me know in the comments below, please. A Stay Tuned reboot series is coming to Hulu. Everyone's gonna cheer about this as soon as I put this video out. I know it. It's not gonna not only reach 20 people. So let's get those thumbs ups up there and share this video out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.